Hi folks, I'm back again. Welcome! Yeah, I'm just preparing a bit of clay here. These are 3 pounds, these lumps. So, learn how to spiral knead. Okay. If you want to learn how to spiral knead, one of the key things is make sure that your table that you're using is not too high, okay? Because if you're too high, you won't be able to exert, and you do need to exert your body weight into the clay, from above rather, okay? Now if you've got a table that's up here, you won't be able to do that and you'll hurt your back. So get the right height. I know your next question. Well, what is the right height, Simon? It kind of depends on your height, rather. And for me, personally, if I stand by the table and put my hand on the table, I should almost be able to put my hand flat on the table. So this actually this is raised up a little bit because I'm on a foam mat on the floor here, which is raising me up a little bit, but really you should be able to stand beside it and have your hand flat on the table like that. And that's probably going to be about the right height for you. If you can't do that, and if it's up here somewhere, it's too high. So, okay, just a couple of balls of clay. Let's swing the camera around. We'll go walk about over here. Oops, what is all that on my wheel? Who left all that there, all that junk? There's a pile of junk on my wheel. I just thought I'd show you. I don't believe in being up the creek without a paddle, you know. These are just different paddles I've got. Some of them I was given. This was one I was given to test out. This is one I made from it's just one of my regular paddles with a sushi mat zip tied around it. You'll find that will give quite a nice effect. The paddles you saw me make in the last film, the last video. Okay, we're going to test those out today. These are other ones that I sell, other patterns. This is another paddle with that, what do you call it, shelf liner. Over here in the US you can buy this in a roll. You can put it in the cupboards, you know, put your mugs on top of or something like that. Anyway, that is just stapled to here. That makes actually quite an interesting pattern. This is it's a plate out of an ozonating machine. I just thought I'd try that. Another sort of variation on the same theme there, crisscross. Somebody made this for me. Carved, keep practicing. That's that. This is another one. This is a one with a bit of burlap on the outside, and then on the other side sort of like holes drilled, sort of like, I think of planets planets. You know, when you smack that in the side, you get these things sort of sticking out towards you. That's one of my regular paddles. Well, this one's got a star and a circles, concentric circles on one on each side. Usually it's only got one. Oh, that was a yeah, that didn't really work actually. I tried that. This kind of just penetrates too deeply into the clay, and that doesn't really work. Star paddle. And then this is another one I was given. This is actually quite nice. This is actually made of bamboo, but that can make actually quite a nice design on a pot. Okay, so just to show you those, the thing is, you see, be creative, be inventive, and a lot of the things that, like these things here, it's just stuff made out of material that is already, you know, maybe in our kitchen or maybe in our garage, or, you know, knocking around the place, and you can use any number of different things. Did I show you? I don't know if I did or not. Oh, it's not here, is it? Where is it gone? Oh, here's another paddle. That can actually make quite an interesting pattern on the outside of a pot. And yeah, this was this one here. From, I don't know if you have a walnut tree in your garden, but you'll be very familiar with these, won't you? Well, I took one of those and kind of ground it a bit, you see, sort of, and then hot glued a little stalk on the back there to hold on to, and use that to push into your pots. Okay, as I say, I mean, I've got lots of things here for impressing into pots because I like doing that. It's interesting, you know, because they impressions into the sides of into clay can make quite interesting landscapes, as it were, on the outside of a pot for the glaze to run down, run into, etc. Okay, let me just put a bit of warm water in there. Let's check this camera. Are we in the right? Are we in the picture? Yeah, we seem to be, don't we? Good. Right, let's go. Let's see what's happening here on the wheel. See if I can remember how to throw. Yeah, I was going to test out these guys, wasn't I? I should probably test out a few of these in separate videos rather than try to cram too many in right now, because I just want to show you a basic technique of how to use these, because I sell these paddles, but I've never actually really done a video on how to use them. Yeah, this is standard 306, this clay, and this is £3. And this is a Leach treble wheel. So breaking in, these probably be trimmed on the outside, on the foot. Yeah. So I push in underneath there, you see, a little bit. Then I use my knuckle on a lump of clay about this size. So you see, if you go all the way up the top here and can continue it on, you can, or let me rephrase that, if when you lift you stop just before the top, you'll encourage a thicker amount of clay there at the top, you see. So you want to try to do that a bit, I think. Let's try and keep the tops of your pots a little bit more generous rather than trying to thin them out, you know, right to the very top. So I've got to get this ready now for me to paddle. So basically, I'm going to basically want I think I'm going to move the camera just a touch around there because I think my head, I don't know if it's getting in the way. As I've got nobody here to tell me whether it is or not. But there on the side of, alright, there we go. So the idea is to throw a thickish walled pot at this stage. Don't try and make it too, don't try and thin it out too much, you see. Right, now what I'm going to do is take my throwing stick and I'm going to just take away the ridges because I don't really want the ridges. Alright. Now take your weapon. Wet it. You want to wet it thoroughly, okay? And just going to take some of the water out that's in there. Okay, I'm going to use my hand now because what we're going to do is I'm going to put my hand inside here and we're going to hit the outside of this, you see, all around with this paddle. Now I've got no idea what this is going to come out like, so here goes, folks. This is the first one with this paddle. All right. So just smack it. With the hand on the inside, so you're smacking the clay between your hand. Now don't put your hand like this, turn it around and use the back of your hand because you can get more of a convex form like that, you see. Because you want to put that up against the, if this my hand here is the pot, you want to put it up against like that, you see, touching it, so that when you hit with this, you've got some resistance there. Okay. I didn't do a very good job of that because I didn't really get it to meet up very well. Never mind. This is just a demo, you see, just to... Don't always have to be to worry about being absolutely symmetrical. Okay, that'll do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just bring it in a bit at the top here. Because I want to, at the moment, what I want to do now is just expand this, you see. So I can't touch it now from the outside, but I can touch it there at the top. So I'm just gonna, you see my finger at the top is keeping the top in. Alright, it's keeping the top in because I want to expand it, but I want to still keep it in at the top. You may need to add a little water like you see me do there. Yeah. See the pattern, as you expand the form of the pot, so the pattern expands as well, you see. And now the danger of doing this is you're stretching the clay, you see, by doing this. So if you're not careful, you can just take it too much, too far. The clay can open out. Okay, I'm looking for the shape at the minute. I'm looking for the shape. Yeah. Now it's helpful to throw these kind of pots on bats because you can't really lift them off the wheel. Unless you kind of grab them right at the very bottom here. Yeah. It's very tempting to want to put your hand there, you see, isn't it? Okay, I think that's as much as I'm gonna take it, and now I've got to do something at the top here. So I've got to think about how the pot comes in at the top here, and you know what kind of termination to have here. You do. So what I've done in the past with these is, let's just bring the camera in for a little bit of detail. So yeah, that'll do. Now sometimes the rim here is a little bit uneven. Two things I could do here. One is I could attempt to try to use my needle tool, or I will put it back on the wheel when it's leather hard and just dress that edge, if you know what I mean. Just make it right with my trim tool. So at the moment it's kind of wet and it's difficult to get a small amount of clay. When you have a very small amount of clay, to try and get it off is sometimes awkward. Now what I'll do also is I'll put a couple of lines in, and I usually do that with my trim tool afterwards, but I'm going to, in this case, I'm going to use my throwing stick to put in a couple of lines to sort of bring the pot together visually at the top, you see. So just see the transition point here where the pattern stops, and then you have this smooth area. Well, right there, I'm thinking I want to put one line, two lines, like that, you see? Sort of tie it all together. Yeah. So I think that the paddle, yeah, I can see how the clay, let's just whip the camera off the tripod here. You see the stretch marks, you see. Let me just, I don't know if you can see there how between those sort of nodules, as it were, in the lower lying areas, can you see how the clay has been stretched? Okay. So that's the, let's take just a look at the form. All right. I'm looking for a nice rising curve here, and then coming round in a nice flowing, fully flowing curve. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So I'll demonstrate some of these other paddles in another video, just to show you this technique of paddling and expanding when the pot is wet. You'll have a lot of fun doing that. What I'll do, probably now what I'll do is okay, you can use a gas torch like this. I recommend one of these with an instant, by far the best. If you're going to get a torch, just fork out the extra, get one of these ones, and you can control the flow of gas as you want. Very, very handy. I use them a lot, you know, when I'm doing demos and such, because you can just speed things up. And so what I'm going to need to do now is just clean away the clay a little bit there at the bottom, and you'll be ready to be lifted off. But I will put the torch on in just a little bit more, just to hurry him along, as it were. So now you've got to think of that pattern with a nice, for example, an ash glaze, if you're familiar with those, running down sort of into these crevices and everything. Or a Temmaku glaze would look good on that, wouldn't it? With the just pushing it out there. With the Temmaku breaking over the design. So that was that one, which you just saw me make in the last clip, okay? So you can all rush out now Go and get yourself some of this stuff. Toro! Sorry, I'm getting carried away. It happens sometimes. Did I leather that properly? Yeah. Yeah, I'll just go over that lightly with my trim tool when it's a little bit leather hard, and that'll be a lot easier to fill with than trying to do it now. Hey, thanks for watching, folks. Go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. I've got pottery wheels, Leach treadle wheels, throwing tools. I've got a couple of paddles. I've got circles paddles and star paddles. Perhaps I'll show them to you in the next video. Same technique as this. You'll have a lot of fun using them. And yes, workshops. We've got workshops coming up, starting at the end of April, running all the way through till November. So go to my website, check the dates out, and contact me. See if there's a space. And yeah. Okay, folks, that's it. I hope that's been some inspiration to you. Hey, keep practicing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Dee 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 dee.